I believe that the coverage of my candidacy by the LA Times has been immensely unfair, grossly unfair. To call me the black face of white supremacy is beyond the pale. You also had another writer who all but called me a black David Duke. I find that enormously, enormously offensive. Your newspaper twice endorsed Barack Obama. There's a picture of Senator Obama standing next to a smiling Louis Farrakhan, who in my opinion is the nation's leading anti-Semite. Alan Dershowitz said had he seen that photograph, he never would have voted for him. If you ever wrote any article scathing about Barack Obama standing next to Louis Farrakhan, I never saw it. If Larry Elder stood next to David Duke and was smiling, I would dare say you should write a scathing piece about that and should say that I should get out of the race, but I don't see the same kind of thing on the other side. I've been on radio for 27 years. Most of my career I was on for 4 hours. That's almost 27,000 hours of radio. I've also been a syndicated column since April of 1998, never missing a week. I think 1 week I took off for Christmas. The LA Times has never published a single article I've ever written. I did a documentary that came out last year on Juneteenth called Uncle Tom, An Oral History of the Black Conservative. It grossed more money than the 5 films that were nominated for Best Documentary combined, had a higher IMDb rating than any of the ones that was nominated. We hired a consultant to contact a bunch of newspapers, including yours, to try to get somebody to write something about it. You never did. Being called the black face of white supremacy, Jim, is that okay with you?
I'm not really here to comment on our last 30 years of coverage of you or our recent.
No, I'm just talking about the last week. I'm just asking you, what is your opinion about a columnist that you guys have hired calling Larry Elder the black face of white supremacy? You have an opinion?
Well, what I'm really hoping we can do with this time is talk about, you're saying you want us to give you a fair shot, and we want to ask you about some of your history and your past. But we're trying to give a full view of you now. And
so you're not going to give me an opinion about whether or not you think it is fair or unfair for Larry Elder to be called the black face of white supremacy.
I'm not going to comment on any of our coverage at the LA Times. I want to start right now afresh with this interview and try to, get some information from you about your career. You decided